what I'm doing.
What's going on, everyone? So right now I'm back in the shop. I'm working on the Civic Coupe. Right now I have the RSX base model transmission pulled from the engine. RSX transmission is giving me some trouble. I don't know if it's the differential, but I'm changing it out with the EP3 trans. Now I have two EP3 trans. One of them I have on the shelf. The other has a leaky casing. I took that back home so I can open it up and reseal it. But since I'm opening it up, I'm going to put that little $30 LSD block that you can get on eBay. So I'm gonna try that out and then reseal the transmission in the casing and then drop it in here. And then this transmission that you see here, I'm gonna have to open it up at a later time. It's going into all the gears. It's just when it comes to rolling and the neutral position, or even if you try to put it in first gear, the wheel is not moving at all on the passenger side, but then it'll move on the driver's side. And I swapped out the intermediate shaft and it's still doing the same thing. But all the gears are good. So I'm gonna just swap out the transmission and open up this casing at a later time and then see what's going on inside of there. But in the meantime, since I have the transmission at home, I have the vehicle lifted on all fours right now. I'm gonna adjust the coilovers and lift each coilover about an inch. When you're driving, the oil pan is really close to the ground, and it seems like I just needed to lift the back up about an inch more. So I'm gonna lift all the coilovers up about an inch and then leave it in that position. I have a 40/40 prop valve that I got from the junkyard. I need to install that. I don't know if I'm gonna do it today, but I do need to install that and then re-bleed the entire system for like the 13th time. So I really need this car to have it running very reliable before I can go back on the EK and finish up that J swap. So I'm in between the middle of projects right now. I have the EF already done and I'm driving it now, and then now I'm trying to focus on put my focus back on the coupe here and get it reliable. I took it to the dyno session for the second time. I'm having issues and now it's either axles or transmission. So I'm gonna put in new transmission, and then if it's still giving me issues, then I know that these axles that I got online are just no good and I'm gonna have to go back to 32 mil. So doing a little bit of troubleshooting and we'll see what's gonna happen after the transmission. How you doing, everyone? I'm back in my garage at home. I have the EP3 trans right here on my little makeshift CRV table. I'm gonna open up the casing and do exactly what I wanted to do, which is install the LSD block that I have here from eBay. It's a $35 LSD block. And this is the company that provided me that on eBay. It was like 35 bucks, shipped to my door. Right now I'm watching the videos from Honda Street Garage and just sort of following their steps on how they open up the casing.
Nothing ever kills our mood. I am just so tired of seeing you on a phone screen. I wanna grab your hand and pull you out. Don't wanna wait that long till you come to me. It's been forever and I miss you, baby. Nobody told me how it's gonna be. I gotta see you in reality. I'm just so tired of seeing you on a phone screen. Even when I'm wide awake, I dream about you every day. rather hold each other waiting. I never thought it would be so frustrating. I just wanna see you again, baby. You should come, maybe we get past it after. Watching movies in my room.
Alright guys, and there you have it. Got the budget LSD already assembled. The only issue that I had is when I was punching this through here, the little washer ended up sticking out a little bit. There was no way for me to really move it. It's just ever so slightly, the little piece of the washer was in the way, but I had to hammer it through. I think I have a little piece of the washer here somewhere, just a slight piece. Other than that, it's all done. Took a little bit of work with the grinder, a little bit of the cutoff wheel, just to get the gears, the spider gears down. The width of this with the pins and all that stuff was not the right width. So while you're punching this through, you're gonna have to separate one of the sides, continue to hammer it through, and then separate the other side, and then just send it. With these little stuff here, you have to be careful in the direction that you're gonna remove it, because these are like spring reloaded. So like when you remove it with a screwdriver, the thing goes flying. So just be aware of that, mindful when you're separating these. Just get out the way. Alright everyone, so I'm pretty much finished assembling the EP3 trans together. One thing that I added to the gears is that I added a 6-speed gear from a RSX Type S. I had all the gears and stuff from a previous transmission with second and third grinding. The transmission was taken apart and torn down, and these were just never put back together. So I had the gears in a box. I took the 6-speed gear and I pretty much put them there. This bearing here, I ended up breaking it, and I had to get one from Honda. It costed about 50 bucks just to get this bearing here for the counter shaft. So don't try to break any bearings. These things are pretty expensive. I have everything assembled here. Now I'm going to seal the transmission, and hopefully everything functions. Alright guys, it's a new day. I brought the transmission over to the main shop because I'm going to be installing it. I went through all the gears multiple times, and I seen that it wasn't going into 6th gear. And reason being is that for the 6th gear, I needed to change out this little block piece here. So this is the 5-speed that I took out, and as you can see, this little oval area was too short. So the RSX one that I had, RSX Type S one, was longer, and I pretty much installed it back onto the shaft and reinstalled it here, and now it goes into 6 just fine. So I'm gonna remove this shifting mechanism one more time, reseal it, and then that's gonna be it, and I can go ahead and install everything. Other than that, this was great learning process for me. Like, I always wanted to take one of these apart and learn about the insides and try to mess with it myself. So it's going into 6th gear, and I hope everything else works, but we'll see. Alright everyone, so a lot of work has been done right now. I have the transmission in. I had to remove it a couple times. I had a crushed dowel pin for the transmission here, and it was just preventing the transmission from being flush. I used the engine stand over there to kind of raise the transmission. I never did that before, but the easiest way is to mount the transmission with the engine out. So I don't have a jack stand or a transmission jack, so I used the engine crane, put a chain around it, lifted it up, and bolted it up a couple times. But this was preventing me from moving forward. So I got driver's side mount in. I'm gonna come back tomorrow, work on the rear mount, put the cables in first. I'm gonna plug everything in tomorrow. But as you can see here, I went through the gears, and now we have six gears here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then, you know, got reverse. So never had 6 gears. It's gonna be interesting, and gonna finish everything up tomorrow and try to assemble the axles and hopefully put the fluids in and see where we go from there. Alright, welcome back everyone. So a few days has passed since the last video clip. Today's Saturday, midnight tonight is my official last days on active duty. So I should be getting my DD214 really soon. I'm still working on a Honda here. I'm going to touch it in just a few minutes. Have a K24 here, K24A2. I just picked it up 2 days ago for $100. It was a sale at the junkyard, and I was able to grab it. This was like the last TSX engine in the yard. There was about 3 of them, and they were just getting pulled throughout the week, and I ended up getting this just in time. Before I go back and touch the transmission, I really need to do a compression test on this to make sure I'm solid on this, to figure out if I want to sell it or keep it. So let me just knock out this compression test, and then we'll go ahead and finish out the rear brackets on the Civic here. Alright guys, so I'm in the garage. I'm having issues with the transmission right now, and it's not stalling out at all. So it's like if the car it just doesn't stall out. And then I try to put it in reverse, and it's stalling out in a reverse, but the wheels won't even spin. So my next theory can possibly be that I need to use the 6-speed shifter forks. That's the only thing that I don't know if you really need for, you know, to add the 6 gear and all that stuff, because right now if you shift, the 6 gear is in between, or the reverse gear is in between 4th and 6th, but it's just not going into reverse like with the wheels lifted up. So yeah, I don't know, might have to take the transmission out again. You know, but I hate to say this, but you know, this is how you learn. So if I gotta take it out again, figure it out until I get it right. Alright guys, so I'm back in the garage at home. It's been at least a month since that last clip that you last saw. I have the transmission, the EP3 trans removed. I'm back at home in the garage, and looks like I made a mistake and did not add the 5th and 6th gear fork from the RSX Type S transmission. So I opened up the casing, switched out the forks, closed the casing, resealed it, and then now we have another issue here. It looks like the transmission, while somehow getting assembled, this piece here just broke off of the EP3 trans, and this is not supposed to be like that. While I was assembling everything, I seen this laying here like that, and I'm like, what is this piece? And then voila, that's a broken piece. So I have a no good casing now. And then I kind of stopped to rethink what I was going to do here. What I have on the floor here is the RSX Type S casing. No gears, no nothing, because I sold the gears with another transmission a few months back. So I have an extra casing here, but then I'm going to have an extra transmission with a casing that's going to need to be repaired. So the plan right now is to switch all the gears, take everything, all the internals, and put it on the RSX Type S casing, and hopefully that'll be it, and maybe I can have a running car again.
Yeah, when you find her, when you love, gotta make sure that you love them right. Yeah, when you find her, when you love, gotta make sure that you love them right. Yeah. When you find her, when you love, gotta make sure that you love them right. Yeah. When you find her, when you love. I got a girl that compliments my fly, and when it goes down, I know she gon' ride. I finally got somebody I can call mine. My one time for the one time. I got a girl that compliments.
Alright guys, so I pulled the car out here. I'm gonna show you guys, it's actually going through all the gears now, reversing and everything. So to recap, what we have here is CRV engine, 99,000 original miles. We have an RSX 0506 casing, EP3 internals, all gears, differential, everything internal is EP3. The LSD block is in there, and it has the original 6-speed, original 6-speed for this casing. So all the internal is EP3, 0506 RSX casing, and now we have it running here. I'm gonna go through reverse here. So this car is pretty much ready. It's ready to go to alignment. It's not wiggling anymore, right where the axles were. So it tells me that the other base model transmission, the differential could be bad. So that's something that I'm gonna have to look into. I don't want to take it on the road yet because I'm not 100% confident in the fuel lines. So the fuel line, if I mess with it here, it does squirt out a little bit. So I'm gonna redo the fuel line, and I'm gonna put the AN fittings, and then we're gonna go through that. I forgot to mention before I end the video, if you're wondering what type of fluid that I decided to just use for the gears and all, I ended up going with Valvoline Synchromesh. I mean, it's manual transmission fluid. It was around 20 bucks for 2 of them. You know, before I think I was putting in like a little bit of all automatic transmission fluid because I didn't have enough money to get the real stuff. So this is the best I could do. So I'm going everything on a budget here, so just wanted to let you guys know, save some money, you know, give some other stuff a try. Alright everyone, that's going to be the end of the video right now, so I can get this uploaded and put this video out. My next thing is right now is to get the car to get aligned, and then take it to get retuned. So those are the next 2 things I'm going to try to redo, and hopefully next time around it works out. So I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.